Hey, 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 what is going on? Good morning. Top of the morning. 7:41 a.m. West Coast time. And yes, we are here. And yes, we're back with another Tommy Sotomayor live stream. Let YouTube send out my notifications and get up in here. We're going to have a wonderful show. It's about time. So let me get me some water real quick. Salute to you. Salute to everybody. Somebody asked me to talk about the Blueface and Jenny 69. So I think I might touch on that today. And the Mexicans are pretty upset. They're pissed off about the fact that Blueface was, you know, well, he did a live stream with Jenny 69, and you got people assuming that he smashed. You got people assuming that he clapped her cheeks, and rightfully so. And Mexicans they're mad about that. And I'll do a live stream about that sometime today. You know? Now let me show you how goofy a lot of Tommy Sotomayor fans are. Now, I did a live stream on Red Supreme TV1. Hold on one second. Let me see this.
And other shit like that. So
I think we kept it engaging, Myron.
You got one of Tommy Sotomayor fans said, "Man, I'm gonna slap you when I see you." I said, "Bro, you can't play with me like that. That'd be the last thing you ever did." You got some clown in my comment section saying he's gonna slap me because I've been roasting his hero Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy can fight his own battles. That's crazy. Just pathetic, man. You got a bunch of pathetic men. Tommy, you got a bunch of pathetic men who follow you. Straight up and down. I'm gonna slap you, Red. When I see you, you ain't got no business talking about Tommy. Tommy's my hero. I got Tommy's poster on my wall. Yeah, I bet you do. You gang goofy Gilligan. Yeah, I bet. Shout out to Chris, man. What's good, Chris? I appreciate you, man, for tapping in with your boy. So anyway, man, it's early in the morning. I wanted to get this one out of the way. And we're back in action, ready for business. Now, Tommy Sotomayor thinks he's a celebrity, right? Like he talks about, he was a fan of mine. He's a fan of mine. Dude, you a YouTuber. You got people who watch you, but you're no celebrity. Stop it. Yeah, one of his goofy fans said he's gonna slap me when he see me, and I just bust out laughing. I'm like, bro, you're willing to take it that far because you love another man so much? That's crazy. I don't know what made this Gilligan think he can slap me. Boy, you don't know what you asking for. But anyway, you're just a troll in the comment section. I wanted to share that with y'all to show y'all how goofy a lot of his fanboys are. Willing to fight over another man that you don't even know personally. You talk about being moist after midnight. Man, bless the like button. It ain't nothing is Red Supreme. We in the game. Oh, yeah. Let's get down to business. Shout out to the people. You already know. So, it's your boy Red Supreme. And the crazy part about it is this. Tommy was on a live stream with a bunch of racists. I guess you would consider these people to be white supremacists. Why would you form an alliance with a group of people who don't like you? They said it to you on the interview, Tommy. They said that most black people have low IQs. They don't respect you. So why would you form an alliance with a group of people like that? Why would you even try? And the crazy part about it is you got black men who rock with Tommy, and that's crazy. We're not talking about something that he did back in 2015, 2016. Tommy embarrassed himself a few times speaking to white people recently. I'm talking about recent history. This is crazy. Don't have that energy for Zimmerman. For one, nobody knows where Zimmerman is. George Zimmerman is hiding. George Zimmerman is not somewhere in the public eye. Typical talking point. If George Zimmerman went somewhere where you seen black, I don't think George Zimmerman is dumb enough to go somewhere where there's a group of black people. He's not going to do it. Zimmerman is a coward, and so is Tommy. And listen, we're not talking about harming Tommy. We're just roasting him. Nobody said they were going to do anything to Tommy. All I ever did was roast Tommy for being a tap dancer, for being a Sambo, and rightfully so. Now, Tommy got on the stream. Tommy got on the panel with these white people and said, I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks, but yeah, you guys still treat me like crap. In other words, Tommy was saying is, what he was saying was, I'm not ignorant like these black people that y'all talk about, but yet and still you guys continue to insult me. Basically saying you guys should like me because I'm not like the rest of the blacks that you guys talk about. That's begging white people to like you. Anytime you go out of your way to tell white people that you're not like these pro-blacks or Tariq Nasheed, in other words, Tommy was telling those white people they had no reason to dislike him. They had no reason to insult him because he's not like the typical black person that they talk about. That's begging white people to like you. That is begging for acceptance. It don't get no realer than that. But the crazy part about it is his fans continue to make excuses for Tommy. That's the crazy part about it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Shout out to you. I didn't know if you was a Tommy fan or what. It's all good, my brother. I thought you was a Tommy fan. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for clearing that up. He said, I'm speaking on the clown that said he'll smack. Yeah, it's crazy. Talking about he gonna smack me over his boyfriend, Tommy. All because I roasted his boyfriend, Tommy, talking about he gonna smack me. That was hilarious. I appreciate you, brother. Let's get into this clip right here. Now, there was people in Tommy's, well, there were people in my comment section saying, how was Tommy begging? I just gave you an example of how he was begging. I'm not like those typical black folks that you guys talk about, but yet and still you continue, you dislike me. You continue to insult me. Tommy, they don't like you because you're black. See, you got a lot of black people like Tommy. They get around white people and they pretend to be different from your average black folks. In Tommy's mind, he felt like white people should like him because he's different. Well, I got news for you, Tommy. They gave you that reality check that you needed a long time ago. But the cold part about it is that's not going to stop Tommy from being a Sambo. No, it's not, because that's how he makes his money. Tommy's not going to stop tap dancing because think about it. That's how he makes his money on YouTube. The black people who listen to Tommy are the same black people that they love to hear Tommy talk crazy about black folks. They pay Tommy to do that. So it doesn't matter that white people disrespected Tommy. It doesn't matter that white people told Tommy, you don't belong over here, Tommy. Back to the cotton picking fields you go. It don't matter that white people disrespected him. Tap dancing is how Tommy makes his money. So guess what? He'll continue to tap dance. He's been doing it way too long to stop now. He's been doing it for the last 20 years. He's not going to stop now. Let's get into this clip. Shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson, my brother.
30 minutes. I'm just going to respond to Tommy.
Wait, hold on. Wait, who was the guy that was being annoying?
Myron, before you...
Now, this is Tommy on a panel with these white people. Hey, moderators, make sure that you guys drop my Cash App in the chat. I appreciate it. Let's get it.
Space, I've been up for about 30 minutes. I'm just going to respond to Tommy.
Wait, hold on. Who was
I
the
never even
person
got
else
a
in the
chance to
room?
finish.
Myron, he was talking about how Max Prime, who came in this space.
So guys, it's time.
Oh, I'm gonna get on Pearly things too. I'm gonna get on Pearly things. And Angry Man did a video saying Miss Pearly got black people triggered again. Man, please.
I think Myron and some white supremacists debating, and Tommy is complaining that he's not able to speak a whole lot. Now, if you guys don't know, Tommy Sotomayor is a former YouTuber, professional booty over there on OnlyFans now. He really came to popularity in like the mid 2010s, early 2010s.
Shout out to SR Serum for the Cash App. I appreciate you, my brother. Much love.
Talking about, you know, the dysfunction with the black community, men's rights and stuff like that, black women in particular. And he went from, you know, supporting blacks to kind of turning his back on blacks and kind of, you know, being a hardcore MAGA supporter, and he got kicked off YouTube. And now he's been out here just twerking for everybody. He don't care. He just oil up his, and he'll go and twerk for white supremacists. He'll twerk for anybody to get a few coins. He's doing corn now. He's clapping cheeks or he's getting his own.
Well, at least Oshay did say, hey man, I'm cool with Anton Daniels, but he did call him out. You know, that's like, you know, I was cool with Tommy, right? At one point in time, right? But when I seen Tommy begging white people, when I seen Tommy do all these things, and I'm talking about recent history, that's when I decided to roast him because it was just ridiculous. So I was cool with Tommy at one point in time. But at some point, you got to call people out, even if you're cool with them, bro. Even if you're cool with them, you got to call them out, especially if you're going to take a stance against something. You know, a lot of black people used to watch Tommy, but at some point, a lot of black people quit rocking with him, although some black people still rock with him. You had black people who listen to Tommy, but once they seen the cooning, the Sambo behavior, they decided to distance themselves from Tommy. You know, but if you when you listen to Tommy Sotomayor speak, he'll say, you guys were a fan. Why are you talking about me now? Tommy, there's a lot of people who had fans, but at some point, people will judge you for what you do. People will judge you for what you do. Just because somebody liked you 5 years ago doesn't mean that they still have to like you now. Especially if you're begging white people for acceptance. That's pathetic. You look pitiful.
To kind of turn his back on blacks and kind of, you know, being a hardcore MAGA supporter, and he got kicked off YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. Tommy Sotomayor, he got to keep tap dancing. Why? Because that's how he makes his money. It don't matter what white people say about him. He has to move on. He has to push the train. He got to stay on that train. That's how he makes his money. He can't come to the black community. So he got a lot of fans. He still has a lot of fans, which are black people who like to see him tap dancing. So he's gonna entertain that audience. Tommy been doing this for 20 years. He's not gonna stop now. He's not. Tommy said a lot of things about the black community that's true. He's not wrong about everything that he says, because some of these things are just obvious. Anybody could see it. It doesn't make you a genius to call out the obvious, but at some point, Tommy got so lost in the sauce that he felt like white people would like him because somehow he felt like he was different from the average blacks. But white people showed him it doesn't matter how different you think you are. White people still look at you as a Negro. Don't matter how you feel about yourself. They still look at you as a Negro. They don't like you. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks, but you whites still treat me like crap. You continue to insult me. Yes, because they don't like you. Tommy, you're begging white people to like you, and that is pathetic. Truly pathetic. And this is recent history. My God, this is pathetic. Just begging white folks to like you, begging white folks to accept you. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks, and yet you guys still treat me like crap. Oh, Tommy thought he was different. He felt like being different would make white people like him. Tommy, you are truly pathetic, and so are your fans for not calling you out. And so are those guys, think about the dudes who sit on panels with him. At some point, you should say, Tommy, man, you my guy, man, but why was you begging those white people to like you? Why did you bring up Tariq Nasheed and pro-blacks and why did you tell those white people that you're different from Tariq Nasheed, which means they should like you? That was embarrassing, Tommy. Truly pathetic.
And now he's been out here just twerking for everybody. He don't care. He just oil up and he'll go and twerk for white supremacists. He'll twerk for anybody to get a few coins. He's doing corn now. He's either clapping cheeks or he's getting his own. Got him. Everywhere he's clapping. So he's down bad. So now he's doing these little struggle debates with these white supremacists, and they won't let him talk.
Jason was jumping all over truth that he did it to Nick yesterday, to the point where Nick just left the space because he was so abrasive. That's what
it's just kind of hard to listen to the back and forth, is all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay, no, I missed, like, I'll be honest, guys, like for the past 30, 40 minutes, I haven't even been here. I've been like tweeting and other shit like that. So
I think we kept it engaging, Myron.
Except for everybody else got to finish their point except me. That everybody else got to have this long grandstand and say things about me. And then when I tried to come back and just defend myself against what was being said, I kept getting cut off. And then when I got called a name, I got your co-host, Ian, telling me, well, you're the only one that's weaponized color, when the person told me I'm a race hustler, which is why I said it. But he didn't stop him and say, well, you can't call this man a race hustler. What race is he hustling? Do you know him? Do you know what he's doing? And every time they did something, I would respond to what they said, and then I get cut off by saying, well, that has nothing to do with anything.
So this is something that...
Tommy, they don't respect you. Why would they let you speak? They don't like you. They want to embarrass you. They want to show everybody how pathetic you truly are. I don't care how much you tap dance. I don't care how much you disrespect black people online. White people still don't like you. They never will. I'm not like Tariq Nasheed or any one of these pro-blacks, but yet you whites still treat me like crap. Exactly, and you deserve it. You deserve to be treated like crap by those white people that you praise so much. You deserve it, Tommy. And yes, like you said, the brothers who sit on panels with him, they know that Tommy has clout, right? So they're not going to say anything. They're going to pretend like they didn't see Tommy begging these white people to like him. Captain Tazariak is going to pretend like he didn't see it. He's not going to hold Tommy accountable. We know Angry Man is not going to do it because Angry Man has a certain type of audience and he panders to that audience. But that is not how Angry Man started out on YouTube. So think about it. The guys that Tommy Sotomayor hangs around, they agree with him. They're not going to call him out for kissing white people's behind. They're not going to do it. They're going to pretend like they didn't see it.
I've noticed with the Coach Greg Adams, Andrew Wilson debate, and this also, you have some of the blacks going into these spaces.
Listen, I don't have a problem with Captain Tazariak, but how you going to talk all this black stuff but not call out Tommy for begging white people to like him? That's a question. Listen, I want to ask Captain Tazariak that question. Captain Tazariak, you speak a lot about black empowerment, and I respect that. I respect your content. But how could you hang around Tommy and not call him out for begging white people to like him? That's exactly what Tommy was doing. Tommy couldn't understand why white people didn't like him because he's not like Tariq Nasheed or the rest of these didn't do nothings. He's not like the didn't do nothings. He's not like Tariq Nasheed. He's not like these pro-blacks. And Tommy was scratching his head because he didn't understand why white people didn't like him, because he's not like your typical blacks. He's different. Tommy, it doesn't matter how different you feel you are. They still don't like you, Crispy. I don't see how somebody who talks about black issues could sit on the panel with Tommy and not call out Tommy for literally begging these white people to like him. Couldn't understand why those white people didn't like him. That's crazy. But listen, I ain't got no beef with Captain Tazariak, but that's a serious question. Your mans was begging white people to like him. Lord.
In which they shouldn't be in. You know, I'm a black content creator, and I feel like as a black content creator, at least my point of view, if you're going to talk about the black community, good or
if you got to beg white people to like you, what's worse than that? And the crazy part about it is the people who listen to Tommy, who rock with Tommy, they're not going to say anything about that. But they got a problem with me calling out Tommy for begging white people for acceptance. But they ain't got a problem with Tommy begging these white people who are racist. You're going to see these clowns in my comment section. Not once will they ever address how they're not going to point out the fact that Tommy is pathetic for begging white people to like him. They're not going to speak on that. They're going to skip past that and say, you're this, you're this. You have no reason to talk about Tommy. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Begging white people to like you. How pathetic Tommy is.
Bad. You should be defending your position in your community amongst other creators in your community. I've always took that stance. Very rarely will I work with somebody who's not black. Okay. But Tommy and people like him, they like going out to these other communities. And then when they get there, they're not that big in those communities. They get shunned and they get treated real bad. All right. So he's probably right with what happened here. Because I've seen this happen to Myron. I've seen this happen to a whole bunch of blacks.
And the whole audience saw it. They got to talk long.
I gave you co-host, Tommy, so you can also say what you got to say. So I just gave it to you just now.
Well, I understand what you're getting ready to go, but it just became insulting. Ian thought that was his damn homeboy, apparently, so he had to defend every damn thing he said. No one ever admitted I made a, not one. They kept on trying to pretend that I was.
They're not going to admit that you were right. Now, Tommy was right in the conversation with those white people, but it doesn't matter if you're right. White people don't care about what's right. They care about the fact that they're white and you're not. Come on, Tommy. Are you dumb? Are you that stupid? Tommy thinks he can speak logic to these white people and somehow they're going to agree with him. Foolish. Just stupid.
Asking for reparations, or I was blaming the white man. Neither one happened. Either Arthur said, I mean, it's disingenuous if people are talking about the Jews, but only so they can talk about what they can get from them. What the hell did I say blacks needed to get? Nothing.
Okay, so they're mixing up his words, assuming that all blacks want something, and that's not what they're saying. I don't think he's lying about this. Okay, but let's see what happens later.
They talk to you, black people, like the same person. It doesn't matter who they're talking to. If you can't do something for them, they will talk down to you because there was no reason for them to do this to me. And it's the same damn thing happened when I was.
Oh, there is a reason for them to do this to you. You're black, and that's why they did it to you. It doesn't matter that you're right. It doesn't matter that you make valid points. They don't care about none of that. The only thing that's important to them is that these are the two things that's important to them. What's important first is that they're white, and the second thing is that you're black. So it doesn't matter how much logic you bring to the table. They'll never give you credit for the logic that you bring to the table, Tommy. They don't like you. Tommy continues to explain his position, speaking to a bunch of racist white people who never liked him in the first place. But he claims to have all this logic, but he's not smart enough to understand that it doesn't matter how much logic you bring to the table. They don't like you. They don't like you because you're black. And they feel superior because they are whites. But you claim to be intelligent, but you don't know that. Crazy.
Tell a show when it doesn't matter who they're talking to. If you can,
let's see what happens later.
They talk to you, black people, like the same person. It doesn't matter who they're talking to. If you can't do something for them, they will talk down to you because there was no reason for them to do this to me. And it's the same damn thing happened when I was on Truth Teller's show, when I was on there with that guy. They just started making fun and then started calling me names.
Why are you over there, sir?
Of course they started making fun of you and calling you names. They don't like you because you're black. Tommy felt like, well, if I bring logic and prove that I'm different from the rest of these blacks, they'll respect me. They'll like me. Tommy, you're that pathetic. You're so pathetic that you beg white people to like you. You think that you can reason with a white supremacist? You remember when Tommy said he made the videos about the BT 1000? The BT 1000 has no feelings. They have no pity or feel no remorse. Well, when these white folks unalive somebody black, they have no pity. They have no remorse. They feel justified because they are white. And they're going to treat you like an animal because you're black. Oh, Tommy thought he was different. Tommy went out of his way to prove to white people that he was different from the average blacks. And guess what? Tommy had to figure this out the hard way. Guess what, Tommy? They don't care. They don't like you. Don't matter how smart you are. Don't matter how successful you are. Don't matter how articulate you may be. They don't like you because you're black. This clown went out of his way to prove that he was different from the average blacks as if white people were going to like him. Well, Tommy's different. We like him. Tommy's not like the rest of those blacks. We like Tommy. Yeah, right, Tommy. Tommy, you look pathetic. You sound pathetic begging those white people to like you. And you guys just start calling me names. What, are you surprised that they were calling you names? Are you really surprised? What an idiot.
He's probably okay, but let's see what happens later.
They talk to you, black people, like the same person. It doesn't matter who they're talking to. If you can't do something for them, they will talk down to you because there was no reason for them to do this to me. And it's the same damn thing happened when I was on Truth Teller's show, when I was on there with that guy. They just started making fun and then started calling me names.
Why are you over there, sir? He's probably absolutely right. But see, this is what happens when you seek white validation. I'm going to keep telling you, brothers and sisters, that. And again, I wish, living in Africa, if I would have known how great of a community that I came from, because like I said, my mom was telling me, get out of Del Paso Heights, get out of Cali, go on, there's nothing here. Okay. And then a lot of us become.
I agree with that. Shout out to, if it wasn't Tommy, if it wasn't Tommy they were talking to, Tommy would have agreed with him. Exactly. If those white people was taking a crap on some other black people, Tommy would have agreed with him. But since they disrespected Tommy, he has a problem with it. See, Tommy ain't got a problem when white people disrespect blacks in general. Tommy only has a problem when whites disrespect him.
Successful, and we still undervalue our community. And then when we go to somebody else's community, when we already have.
Make sure that you guys bless the Cash App and the Super Chat. Yeah, Tommy only has a problem when whites disrespect him. As long as they're disrespecting black people, nah, it ain't a big deal. Tommy don't care. Tommy, you're pathetic. And so are the people who make excuses for you. Your subscribers pathetic. Your supporters pathetic.
All that we need. Tommy had everything he needed amongst the blacks. You go over there and you get devalued. And then now you get upset. And then what he wants, he will take less from white people, even though he was getting more from blacks. And now he's not even getting the less he expected. And now he's mad because what he wants is some butter biscuits. If it was me, I would have left the show. But that ain't what he wants. He wants somebody to say, sorry, we love you, Black Tommy. We accept you. That's what he wants. But is that what he's going to get?
Nope, he's not going to get it. But Tommy is not the only black person who does that. A lot of these black people like Tommy, they go out of their way to prove to white people that they're different from the average blacks that whites talk about. And they feel like, well, if I prove to these whites that I'm different, surely they'll like me. Surely they'll embrace me. They'll use you to take a crap on your people. But do they really like you? Absolutely not. No way.
And then you get mad. Look at them, low IQ blacks. How are you going to reunite with somebody that won't even hear you?
Tommy is a waste of talent. He's a waste of talent because he has no integrity. Tommy is pathetic and he has no integrity, begging white people to like him.
Then when you get mad, look at them, low IQ blacks. How are you going to reunite with somebody that won't even hear you? Y'all speak for 35 straight minutes and everybody has to hear you.
Why do you want to reunite with them?
Themselves, and you come up with excuses? You did, Ian. I answered y'all's questions. Every one of them.
It doesn't sound like you want to make an alliance, though. It doesn't. Like they're
Sir, it ain't up. I just told you what the alliance, the problem was. If you won't listen to people who you're trying to ally with, why would they do it?
Because
how is it that the alliance means that we got to listen to y'all? Isn't it supposed to be we come together and make decisions together?
I know I keep cutting them off, but this is why a lot of black guys who want to go on the extreme right. And I'm a guy who votes Republican, but you would never find me in those spaces. You want to be accepted and work with people who hate blacks because you hate.
Tommy does get it. Tommy is smart enough to figure this out, but he's been tap dancing for so long. That's how he makes his money. If Tommy started holding white people accountable, let's say Tommy switched up his content and started holding white people accountable, right? He's not going to have an audience for that, right? He's disrespected black people for too long. So guess what he has to do to make money? He has to tap dance. That's what he's going to do. Tommy's smart enough to understand what he has to do to make money. So he's going to double down on it. Doesn't matter how much white people disrespect him. Tommy only has a problem when white people disrespect him. him, but he doesn't have a problem when white people disrespect blacks and as long as they're disrespecting black people. Listen, this is the thing. It's not disrespecting him. Nah, he doesn't have a problem with that. Tommy is all for himself. That's the reality of the situation, fellas.
That they hate, and you're looking for parity. You're never going to get parity, in my opinion, from most whites anyway. Although I've had some white people who've done some excellent things in my life. Dr. Patrick Brown.
Show some love and support. Make sure that you show some love and support and bless that like button. It ain't nothing. Oh, I don't rock with Red no more, man, because he's talking about Tommy. Never mind the fact that it's true, but I still don't like Red because he's talking about my hero, Tommy. Or you got black people from the black community. I don't like Red Supreme because he holds black women accountable. Get lost, sucker. That's why things in the community will never change. We got too many black men simping for the women to the point to where you never hold them accountable for anything. I can't stand these tap dancers who kisses the behinds of white people. I can't stand them. And I can't stand people in the black community who are so weak to the point to where they can't hold black women accountable for anything. I'm sick of all these weak people on both sides. I'm sick of the pro-black simps, and I'm sick of the black people who tap dance for white folks. I'm sick of all of them.
UC Berkeley extension postback, he changed my life. I've had some whites in immunology when I was undergrad. They really helped me. But ultimately, you need to go and help your—
Shout out to Virgil Berry. I appreciate you, Virgil. Shout out to my dog, Virgil. That's a fact, Virgil.
Community, and that's how it works. And you're looking for parity and equality from people who don't want equality, and the only reason why they talking to your ass is because you feel the same way that they do, but you're now finding out that you're just another N-word to them.
But it seems like your alliance is listen to y'all. That don't sound like an alliance. It sounds like what we already went through in America. Slavery and Jim Crow.
Now he's no, Tommy. No, you can't go there, bro. You can't be talking about how—
Why would you want to form an alliance with a group of white racists? For one, Tommy's pathetic for begging white people to like him. For two, he's pathetic for trying to form some type of an alliance with Confederate toting rednecks. Why would you want to form an alliance with some racist rednecks who don't like you? And the crazy part about it is you got black men who sit around, who hang with Tommy, who sit on panels with him, and they never address this. Like, Tommy, why would you want to form some type of alliance with a group of people who don't like you? Then you're begging them for acceptance. I ain't seen none of those black dudes who sit on these panels with Tommy ever bring that up. Why? Because they think just like him. They're no different. Because anybody who's against that would bring that up. They're like, Tommy, why would you beg white people to like you? Why are you going out of your way to prove that you're different from pro-blacks or Tariq Nasheed, and that means that they should like you because you're different? Why would you beg white people to like you like that? That's pathetic. None of those guys who sit on those panels with him will ever address that. They won't.
Black people is this and that, and now you're trying to go ahead with the Black Lives Matter hashtag BLM speaking tone. You can't do that, bro. Nah, Tommy, they're not gonna let you get away with that.
Talk to us like men. We talk to y'all like men. When y'all got to speak, we didn't get to cut y'all off, and most of y'all, including Truth, was saying stupid and repeating it over and over again. But no one cut him off.
Oh, man.
No one tried to tell him, you shouldn't be saying this. How is it that y'all the only ones spoke like that? Anybody in the audience ask, why is it they're the only ones tried to tell you what you saying and shouldn't be saying, but no one spoke to them that way? They just got to speak. You can't get to know me if you ain't even willing to get to know me. And getting to know me would mean to hear me, just like y'all like to be heard. And surely not to put words in your mouth that you didn't say. And now my whole conversation is defending myself.
See, the only time Tommy says anything about white people is when they disrespect him. Then he'll make a video or maybe two and say, well, whites are like this. Tommy, they been like that. But you only have a problem with them when they insult you and embarrass you publicly. That's the only time you have a problem with them, sir. As long as whites continue to disrespect blacks, you have no issue with that. You have no problem. Tommy only has a problem with it when it hits home, when they insult him, when they embarrass him publicly. That's the only time you find an issue with white people.
Against your lie, instead of telling you what I think. It's respect to put words.
They don't respect you. They're going to twist your words. They're going to insult you. They're going to insult your intelligence. Don't matter if you're right or not. They're going to twist your words to try to make you look stupid. They're going to twist your words to embarrass you because they don't like you. But these are the same people that you try to form an alliance with. Tommy, you are truly pathetic. You really are. At this point, you are pathetic. Forming an alliance with some rednecks. Why would you entertain that? No black man in his right mind would even entertain some foolishness like that. Forming an alliance with some redneck white supremacists. You are truly pathetic, my friend. And so are the people who sit around you. So are the people who refuse to hold you accountable for that. They're pathetic as well. Why? Because they condone this behavior and they never say anything about it. This dude got on the platform begging white people to like him, going out of his way to prove that he's different from the rest of the blacks. So that's more reason for whites to like him because Tommy is different. Well, they disrespected you. They insulted you.
You can't get to know me if you ain't even willing to get to know me. And getting to know me would mean to hear me, just like y'all like to be heard. And surely not to put words in your mouth that you didn't say. And now my whole conversation.
Shout out to Nikisha. I appreciate you, Nikisha, for the Cash App, right? Listen, sometimes I got to hold black men accountable, especially when they behave like Tommy. Sometimes I got to hold black women accountable when they come with this feminist mindset. It doesn't mean that I hate my people. It doesn't mean that I hate black women because I hold them accountable for their actions. Nobody has a problem. Nobody in the black community has a problem when I put these Sambos on blast. Nobody has a problem with that. They only get upset when I hold black women accountable. As long as I'm holding Anton Daniels accountable, Ringo, or Jason Whitlock, Officer Tatum, Jesse Lee Peterson, they don't have a problem with me calling out black men for their Samboish behavior. They only get mad at Red Supreme when it's time to hold the black woman accountable. That's hypocrisy. But shout out to Nikisha for supporting on the Cash App.
Is defending myself against your lie instead of telling you what I think. It's respect. But y'all don't see it, and I understand. But it's disrespectful as hell when black folks are watching this.
But but you've been like saying it for like 4 minutes. Come on, you have a whole diatribe now. We get it. All right. And they letting you talk right now, to be honest. They letting you talk and you just won't shut up now. It's like 4 minutes. You made your point, move on.
Why would I lie with somebody who's telling me do what I say?
Okay, it's my turn. It's hard to form an alliance when you're coming from an emotionally skewed perception on everything because you want to cite multiple sources that are emotionally charged for you, which I understand. I get emotionally charged when I talk about things regarding my race as well. You want to cite things like, what about white men with black women, these TV shows, but now y'all want to say something as soon as a black guy gets with a white woman or stuff like that. Emotionally charged.
Because Ian brought that up.
Stop. No.
Okay, so the guy
Tommy did make sense, but it doesn't matter that Tommy made sense in that conversation. The white guys were dismissing everything Tommy said. They deflected. Tommy made valid points, but they don't care about Tommy making valid points. They were mocking Tommy. They were disrespecting Tommy.
is saying it's hard to have a discussion with somebody emotionally charged. Now, Tommy must have been right. I'll give Tommy his flowers. Tommy's a talented commentator. He's a talented debater. So the points that Tommy was bringing forth, they had no way of dealing with those or dealing with this framework. So
that's true. When Tommy said, well, hold on, why would I the Jews, if the Jews defeated you guys, why don't I just link up with the Jews if they're defeating everybody? Whites own this country, then the Jews took over. I need to link up with the people who defeated you guys. So Tommy made good points. Tommy made valid points. Tommy didn't say anything wrong, but it doesn't matter because they don't respect you because you're black. They don't like you. They white people would use you for their own hidden agenda. And at this point, their agenda is not even hidden. It's on Front Street. It's obvious. It's clear for everybody to see. But Tommy tried to form an alliance with a group of rednecks. How pathetic is Tommy for that? But if you listen to the conversation, Tommy was right about the things that he was saying. But Tommy, what you don't understand is it's not about you being right. It's about them being white, and it's about you being black, and they don't like you because you are black. But you should be smart enough to understand that.
And the reason why I know that Tommy was bringing forth, they had no way of dealing with those or dealing with this framework. So the reason why I know that he must have been right, although this is a truncated video, was the response that this guy just gave. The response he gave was, well, I can't make an alliance because look at you're emotionally charged. None of them dealt with what he was talking about. And instead of Tommy, which you're about to find out, he's about to act real emotional about this. He should have just have the guy address his framework. And the way he was supposed to do that was, listen, nobody's emotionally charged. Can you address what I'm talking about? And he would have forced him to cover that territory or cover that ground, which he did not. And again, this is what happens when you're in spaces that you're not supposed to be in, because you're looking for a moral victory that you're not going to get. The referees are not blacks in this case, right?
Right. He's looking for a moral victory. And what Tommy fails to realize is it doesn't matter how many valid points you bring. These are white people. They'll never give you credit for anything. They're going to paint the picture like you're just emotional and you can't have a logical conversation because you're emotionally charged. That's how those whites painted the picture of Tommy. Well, Tommy's just being emotional. Tommy's irrational. That's how they painted you, Tommy. But Tommy's trying to win a moral victory with a group of people who don't like you. That conversation was rigged. It didn't matter how many facts you brought to the table. They don't care about that. Like Oshay said, the referees are not black, they're white, so they're gonna vote in the favor of whites, and they're gonna do everything in their power to make you look stupid and ignorant, even if you made perfect sense. Tommy's an idiot. Tommy, you're truly pathetic for begging these white people to like you.
In a white space, it seems, and they're moving the goalpost. So watch what happens.
Oh, no, brother,
Sir,
no, brother,
Ian brought that up first.
Blacks in this case, right? You're in a white space, it seems, and they're moving the goalpost. So watch what happens.
Oh, no, brother,
Sir,
no, brother,
Ian brought that up first.
Look. You're emotionally charged and it's hard to form a line. Bias.
This is the here, and this whole emotionally charged stuff. That's why people kick y'all ass, because y'all kick people until they do it to you.
Now to the point where, bruh, you have lost the argument. Although all of that filibustering you did, it was good at first, but now you talking about this is why they kick y'all ass and all this stuff.
This is stupid. Ian spoke of it first. I responded to him.
Over 1,000, over 100 nations, okay? 100 countries over 1,000 times.
You got to be dumb as a black person if you're trying to form some type of alliance with a group of rednecks who don't like you. They'll never do things in your favor. Why would they? They don't have to. I'm going to form this loose alliance with these white rednecks. What? Really? Are you that crazy? What an idiot.
White people, I'm telling y'all now, did y'all see him?
From emotional.
My name is Crispy. Oh, my name is Crispy. Oh.
It was good at first, but now you talking about this is why they kick y'all ass and all this stuff.
This is stupid. Ian spoke of it first. I responded to him.
Over 1,000, over 100 nations, okay? 100 countries over 1,000 times, okay?
And white people, I'm telling y'all now, did y'all see him?
From emotional place.
So now all of a sudden you pro-black now. All Tommy gonna do is go back on X tomorrow and start, this is why I can't stand black people. This is why I can't stand black. Do 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 do. You know you got that little music. That's all he gonna do. So he now he mad at the white people because they don't like him, and he's talking about when you see him F him up, just crashing out, just on his period, twerking.
Tommy was on his period, twerking for white people, begging whites for acceptance, and they still don't like him. Going out of your way to prove to white folks that you're different from the blacks they talk about, and they still don't like you. That white dude told Tommy, back to the cotton picking fields you go, Tommy. Back to the fields, Tommy. Back to the fields. They told you to go back to the cotton picking fields. They don't like you. And you still decided to beg. Listen, this was last year when the white guys told Tommy to go back to the cotton picking fields. Tommy felt like, well, I'll go to a different group of white people and maybe they'll like me. Maybe those white people were just a-holes. Nope. Tommy found himself in the same position when he got on that panel last year when that white guy told him to go back to the cotton picking fields. Tommy feels like, well, I'll try it again in 2025. And guess what? Tommy gets the same results. They insult him. They said that he's emotional. They claim that he has a low IQ. He's emotionally charged. They can't have a logical conversation with him. Tommy, you are truly pathetic. You continue to beg these white folks for acceptance. And every time they prove that they don't like you, it don't matter how much logic you bring to the table. It don't matter how much understanding you bring. They don't like you because you're black. You claim to be so intelligent, but you can't see the obvious fact.
All that up. You was looking for daddy to clap. Daddy didn't want to clap your. You was ready to open them up for liking. And he's talking about when you, that's all he gonna do. So he now he mad at the white people because they don't like him. And he's talking about when you see him F him up. Just crashing out. Just on his period, twerking, all wet up. You was looking for daddy to clap. Daddy didn't want to clap your. You was ready to open them up for daddy. He didn't want it. Now you acting like a rejected little 304 at the club.
Yep.
Now you out there, cheeks is lathered up. Lathered all the way up. You look bad. You was doing pretty good at first. Let's see if you can get it back on track.
Yes, coming from an emotional state. Will kick your ass if I ever got a chance to hear one of y'all white talk like this to somebody's face.
Rails.
Look.
Y'all talk to people like they think it's supposed to be okay.
With the white woman. You see that? You see
Sitting
that?
up here insulting people. The white man was the first one to bring this. The faceless white man was the first one to say that Jews were putting black women and black men with white women. He said it. I didn't. He's the one who said it. And yet you're going to sit up here and keep insulting me and then say, oh, look at him. He's being emotional. He's being emotional. These with you. And then when you kick their ass, they got a problem.
That you point out the Jew. We appreciate.
How about this? Since everybody using.
See, listen, they did this on purpose. They said, we're going to insult Tommy and you're going to see him get emotional. And they're going to clip that and they're going to use that to prove that you're low IQ, that you're emotional, that you're emotionally charged. They're going to use this clip to prove their point to say, see, I told you blacks are not intelligent. They're too emotional to have a conversation. They're going to use this clip against you, Tommy. And you gave them the ammunition that they were looking for. And that's truly sad. You're pathetic, Tommy. You gave these white boys the ammunition they were looking for. They're going to repost this on one of their sites, and they're going to use you as a talking point.
Button. Now that they gave me the mute button, now that here. Now, how about that? Y'all done came to this black man's space to be to this black man. While he trying to run his show, y'all up here running. Y'all can't get the numbers he get. He showed y'all the respect to allow y'all to come up here and talk. And when he went away, y'all sat here and disrespected me for nothing. So yes, I'm being emotional.
Okay, so actually it's his show. All right, so he must be on Rumble or on X. And again, Tommy is just petty, man. Like, this is what he does. You know, I want to talk. I want to talk. Well, I can't talk. When I see you, mother. I mean, you like 50 years old, twerking everywhere, man. Juices is flowing.
Who never liked black people in the first place. How could you sit on panels with Tommy and not say, damn, Tommy, that was embarrassing, bro? Why would you beg these white people to like you? Why would you try to form some type of why would you even want to form an alliance with a group of people like this? For what? You embarrass yourself, Tommy. They're going to use you. They're going to make an example out of you. See, we told you Tommy was emotional. We told you Tommy was low IQ. We told you Tommy was emotionally charged. They're going to use that against you. They're going to. Yes, indeed. See, right now, we're having a internet connection problem, right? So I'm on my cell phone right now. I'm on my cell phone, man. For some reason, the internet is going in and out over here. This Cox internet is tripping, so I had to switch over to my phone. But like I said, man, Tommy is truly pathetic. You know, begging white people to like you. Yeah, I had to reboot, but I'm on my cell phone. For some reason, the internet inside of my house is just, it's been tripping. It's been tripping since yesterday, right? So, but it's raining out here. You know, it's raining out here where I'm at, man. And I guess, you know, I got a message from Cox saying that the internet is tripping right now. So we're having a problem with that. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. It ain't nothing, but yeah, man. I would never form an alliance with some white supremacists. That's just crazy. Why would I want that? Seriously, like why would I want that? And you got a lot, like I say, man, you got a lot of black people who go out of their way to prove that they're different in hopes that whites will embrace them, in hopes that whites will like them, right? And they all get their wake up call eventually. They all get their wake up call eventually. It don't matter how much you kiss up the whites, they don't like you. They will never accept you. Get it through your thick skull. But if anybody deserves to be disrespected by whites, it's Tommy, man. It's Tommy. Seriously. He deserves it. If anybody deserves it, it's Tommy, man. Tommy only cares, he only cares when white people disrespect him. As long as they're going at black people, disrespecting black folks, Tommy's it's all gravy. Tommy don't care about that, baby. Tommy is the same guy who said he hoped that whites arm themselves and fire upon blacks. He's the same guy who said that. So you can never trust anybody who says that. Tommy is emotional. You got to be emotional to say that. Something is wrong with Tommy. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. We'll do it again, man. You know, for some reason, you know, the internet is going in and out, and we'll fix that issue. I'll fix the problem. Well, I can't fix it. Cox has to fix it. But as soon as the issue gets resolved, I'll be right back online. I'll be right back on my laptop. Right now, man, I'm on my cell phone doing it. So that's why my voice might sound a certain way because I'm on the cell phone with it, brothers. So work with me right now. 57 minutes. I think we're going to go to the hour mark, man. We'll go to the hour mark. But yeah, man, one of Tommy fans said, Red, man, I'm going to slap you for talking about Tommy. This dude got a poster of Tommy in his bedroom. And my thing is this, how could you, and what they'll say is, well, you was a fan of Tommy. Listen, there was a lot of people who listened to Tommy. Over the years, Tommy has done so much tap dancing that it turned a lot of people off. People who used to rock with him don't rock with him no more. And the last straw for a lot of people, I know some people who said, man, I was rocking with Tommy, but when I heard Tommy begging white people to like him, when I seen Tommy on those panels with those white people begging for acceptance, that was the last straw right there. I had to cut Tommy off after that. That was embarrassing for a black man to do. It was embarrassing to see a black man do that. I'm not like these pro-blacks, but yet you guys still treat me like crap. I'm different. I'm not like the rest of these blacks, and you guys continue to insult me. You treat me like crap. And I'm not like Tariq Nasheed, and you still disrespect me. Yeah, they'll continue to disrespect you. They don't like you. It is what it is, Tommy. Deal with it. He's talking about me for clout. Red Supreme is talking about me for clout. Tommy, I got videos on YouTube that got way more numbers than what I'm doing here. Way more numbers. You know, I got live streams about illegal immigrants that got way more views, and I made way more money talking about illegal immigrants than I ever made talking about Tommy. I made way more money talking about FBA created hip hop. I made way more money off those live streams than I ever made talking about Tommy. That's the reality. I don't make the bulk of my money talking about Tommy. But that's what Tommy wants his fans to believe. Like, he's talking about me because it is. No, I'm talking about you because you deserve to be talked about. I'm showing everybody how pathetic you truly are. Well, you really are. Showing everybody how pathetic you are. I make way more money talking about immigrants. I make way more money talking about hip hop. I make way more money off of that content than I do talking about Tommy. I make more money talking about gang violence in Los Angeles than I do I make way more money off of that content right there, talking about gang violence. Talking about Tommy, yeah, I get a little bit of support, but I don't make that much money talking about Tommy. I don't. I talk about Tommy because he deserves it. And I'm rubbing it in his face because Tommy's emotional, and I'll continue to rub it in. He deserves it. If anybody deserves to be disrespected by white folks, it is Tommy Sotomayor. Those are the facts. Anyway, man, we're going to get up out of here, man. I'm going to wait until this internet reboots itself. And when it reboots, I'll be back online. I just wanted to finish this off with my cell phone. And yeah, man, we'll be back in a minute. You know, peace to everybody out there. I appreciate everybody for supporting the content in a major way. I got love for you all. I'll be back soon as the internet situation gets fixed. Come on, Cox, you got to fix the internet.